Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new six-part series titled Questions People Ask Before They Recognize They Are Stressed. In this series, comprising short videos, we want to help women before they hit rock bottom. We briefly explore a broad range of questions about various stress environments and events. In everyday life, we ask, am I stressed or just tired? Then there are the myths about resilience and bouncing back and what to do instead. We'll look at workplace stress scenarios where an answer to why are you tired is it's just a high pressure week. This lie keeps professionals burnt out. We look at caregiver burnout, the invisible mental load, and how caregivers absorb burnout. Then there's emotional recovery after abuse, reclaiming your narrative and how to quiet the echoes of abuse, and rebuilding confidence after major life disruption, starting over, and how to reclaim confidence when your life changes. In video one, we'll look at stress versus fatigue, the hidden signs of overwhelm. People rarely ask or type into Google search, am I experiencing cognitive load? Instead, they ask physical and behavioral questions. Have you been asking yourself questions like, why is my memory suddenly so bad? Why does every little decision feel like a mountain? Why can't I remember simple things? Why is making a decision about what to cook for dinner suddenly so exhausting? Why am I so incredibly tired, even when I slept 8 hours? If you've asked these questions, then this video is for you. Most of us generally don't wake up and say, I'm chronically stressed. We tend not to recognize stress in its conceptual form. Instead, we recognize it as a series of strange, frustrating questions about our capabilities. We assume we are just lazy, or getting older, or need more caffeine or a holiday, or maybe we have flu. But in my experience, these questions are actually the early warning signals of cognitive overwhelm. Today, we're going to look at hidden questions you ask before you burn out, and why solving them isn't about reducing your workload, but about resetting how you interpret it. Let's look at the core problem of why tired is a mask. Remember that first question, why is everything so difficult? When our nervous system is overloaded, part of our brain begins to shut down its non-essential processing. We experience this as a kind of loss of bandwidth. Suddenly, sending an email feels like writing a thesis. Folding laundry feels like climbing a mountain. This doesn't mean you're lazy or incapable. It simply means that your brain is literally operating in a low power mode because it is trying to protect you from burning out. The mistake we make here is we dismiss it, we ignore it, or we try to force our way through it. We write longer lists, we try harder. But when you treat cognitive exhaustion as a productivity problem, you accelerate the path to burnout. And here's another question. Why am I overreacting to things that shouldn't bother me? Stress isn't the event, it's the interpretation of the event. So let's have a look at myth versus reality and the interpretation gap. For example, if you find yourself snapping at your partner because they put a glass in the wrong place, or you feel tears sting your eyes because a minor plan changed, you might think, what is wrong with me? I'm losing control. But here's the core psychological truth. Stress is not the event. It is your mind's interpretation of the event. Let me explain what I mean by that. We have two paths, each going its own way. One goes to threat, the other goes to challenge. Let me give you an example. Two women can experience the same thing, say a sudden change in a project deadline at work. The first woman interprets this as a threat. I'm going to fail, everyone will see I can't handle it, and my security is at risk. Her body immediately floods with cortisol and adrenaline. The second woman interprets the exact same deadline as a challenge. This is annoying and tight, but we will adjust the scope and do what we can. Her nervous system remains relatively calm. The event was identical. The biological response, though, was completely different. Why is that? Because of the interpretation. When you're already running on empty or have learned to have knee-jerk reactions to things out of panic, your brain defaults to interpreting every minor inconvenience as a threat to your survival. If we go back to that glass in the wrong place, it isn't just a glass anymore. To your exhausted brain, it's proof that you are unsupported, unheard, and alone. As for the reset, let's move from threat to choice. We can't always change our workload, our families, our relationships, or the unexpected disruptions of life. But we can reset our threat detection system. As you know, I developed the stress interpretation reset. You've all seen and you've read about it over the months. For now, though, the next time you find yourself asking, why is everything so hard? Or feeling that wave of irritation, I want you to pause and use a two-step check-in with yourself. Step 1, identify the hidden story. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this situation right now? Is it, if I don't finish this perfectly, I'm a failure? Is it, if I ask for help, it means I am weak? The second step is to measure the actual threat. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is an actual physical danger, where does this event really land? Most of our daily threats are actually level 2 inconveniences that we are interpreting as level 9 catastrophes. We need to separate the event from the interpretation. When you begin to separate the event from your interpretation of it, your nervous system finally gets the signal that it is safe to step down from high alert. You stop asking why you're so tired and you start reclaiming your energy. And here's a call to action. If you're ready to move past just managing your symptoms and want to systematically reset how your mind processes pressure, I've built a practical step-by-step digital program that's called Stress Interpretation Reset Tier 1. It includes my proprietary stress measurement grid and simple and daily exercises designed to load in your mental load for less than the cost of a high-end lunch. You don't have to carry the weight of unnecessary stress. I'd encourage you to enroll in Tier 1 and have a look at the links on the next slide to do so. And please don't forget to consider doing the personal check-in and exploring the various books I've authored. Here are the links. The first is to the Emotional Stability Personal Check-in. That's different to the two-step I gave you earlier. There's the link to Tier 1 Stress Interpreter Reset. And there's the link to the Amazon books and to my author profile. I'd also like to say, if you have a podcast or send out a newsletter or a coaching practice, a community for women focusing on emotional well-being, please get in touch. I would love to be able to contribute something to your audience, whether it's a guest article, an interview, a workshop, or a discussion. Please contact me on this link. Contact me. And thank you for watching. Take a deep breath, and I'll see you in the next video where we will address the toxic myth of bouncing back.